7-foot tall banana tree now because it'll get damaged by the cold.
Oh no. How are you going to do that? You going to put a tarp over it?
A real big blanket or something. I don't know. I gotta figure that out.
That could go so many different ways when thinking about a banana tree. uh,
So we
anyway,
have bananas.
welcome back to another Plasticast, guys. The whole gang's here. Even Sideburns here, not even chasing little red cars. Did you give up?
Yep. They're just too fast because red is the fastest color. You know?
True. Yeah, that's why everybody likes Sideswipe, because he's red. But I'm also joined here with Megamus and Don, after he had to kick his laptop through a window.
Well, I would say gently persuaded it out the window. It was gentle.
Technology, you gotta love it. But anyway, this week we're going to talk about some of the new reveals through Takara. So happy to see Takara doing more stuff. I don't know about you guys, but it's kind of a flashback to where, like, like the 2010s and such, when they were doing the little newer, like the Henkei stuff and all the cool things,
Yeah,
Yeah,
sometimes it does feel like we're getting a little kickback to when they just stopped the brand, or back to before the brand unity apocalypse.
yeah. I mean, I was good with. I mean, it was always nice to, at least, for all the frustrations of trying to get a Takara version of something, it was always nice to know that you did have like options that was better paying. In the case of the Titan Masters, you got the Target Master with the appropriate character versus it just being the Titan Master in the US. And then after the brand unification, it was like, I get it, but it's boring.
Yeah. I mean, it's like they just, I don't know. The budget was there, but they just decided to not add extra paint to some of that stuff when they could have. I just think it would have made some of those, like the little Target Masters and the Titan Masters, actually look better if there was more paint on them. I mean,
Oh,
just to
that's
And that
sell
was
always.
figures. I
yeah,
don't know.
and that was always the benefit of Takara back in the day is that Japan is much more open to they don't need a universal price point. This
But anyway, one of the reveals that they brought up was a new version of Studio. Well, I'd say pretty much, what was this, like the Studio Series version of
G1.
Sideswipe?
No, this is
this is
G1.
the or this is
Oh, I'm
Sideswipe.
sorry.
This
I
is
was,
the MPM, the
yeah,
masterpiece
sorry.
movie.
Okay.
Yeah,
So that they revealed the silver version of Sideswipe a while back, but
right.
they've revealed that they're doing a red version as well.
Well, also, I may be wrong, but I think when they revealed the sideswipe, he only had the arm blades. And I
Oh,
do
did it?
not, and I was remember commenting on RFC how I hope they give us a version that it does. The sidearm sideswipe is probably one of my favorite movie designs just because it's such a great looking vehicle, and the way they did the sidearm with hiding it inside the car on those panels, just a wonderful use of storage, and seeing this makes me very, very happy.
Do we actually have a price point on this yet, Sideburn? Because I know you brought up a lot of this stuff. I didn't know if you'd seen any price point on this or not.
I don't know if they gave a price point. Let's see, MPM and
Because I was looking at the solicitation page, and I didn't see anything that looked like a yen price. But I didn't have time to go through the fine tooth comb.
Is there a price on the regular one versus the red one? Do we know that?
Um, no, I don't. I would.
There shouldn't be any difference with just like Corden and Sunstreaker.
Yeah, I would think it'd be something along those lines where they release the two of them side by side at the same price point. I'm not seeing any announcement of price. There's like one listing of it that got it out there at $200, but I don't think. But this is just a storefront that listed it as that. Nothing else has revealed the price. So
Yeah, and
um,
we've seen a lot of people as soon as a image goes up, they'll start listing it for much
yeah,
higher than what it's going to be.
yeah, I think that's what this is. So yeah, I don't think there's any price on this yet. I mean, it's. I'm sure you can look to some of the other masterpiece stuff and sort of guesstimate what it's going to be, but I don't know. This is sort of in that new wave of this new T Spark like umbrella, um, and I don't know if there's been many masterpieces released under that umbrella yet. Genrai maybe. Um,
Yeah, under MPG, but this is MPG
Yeah.
which is
MPM.
yeah MPMN, which is I think
Yeah.
masterpiece movie next is what it stands for.
Yeah. So I think this is like what they did with the movie figures we got back for Revenge of the Fallen. They took the Bumblebee that was our leader class, and the Starscream that not the star they took the better Bumblebee and Starscream and made them into a masterpiece line in Japan, which continued recently with Brawl and Black Owl and all that. So I think that's what they're doing here. They're doing another movie line under this new banner, which is why this is what one.
Yeah, because I think have they done Sideswipe yet? In
Not
the previous MPM?
No, it was Bumblebee, Megatron, Brawl, Blackout. I think they did a Megatron. That was
They did, I
ninth.
think.
Yeah,
Yeah, they did
Yeah.
both. I think they did several They did at least the original Megatron, the '07 one, and then I feel like they did they do. Maybe they didn't do Revenge of or not Revenge of the Fallen, but the last movie, the third in the original trilogy, sort of. Um, Dark of the Moon. That's what I was thinking of. But I know they did Barricade, and I know they did.
I forgot.
They bought Barricade. They did Ironhide. They did Ratchet.
They did Blackout,
Brawl.
didn't they?
Blackout. Yeah, they did
Yeah.
Blackout.
Yeah, and they
They
also
did most of the first movie stuff. I think they
Yeah.
got most of that cast, and then plus some of the Bumblebee. They did the Bumblebee Prime.
But I mean, Red Sideswipe in the past has been called Swerve. So I don't know if they're going with that naming convention or if he's just.
Well, from this, it looks like they're calling it. They just have a listed. They have that G1 there in the name of it. So I'm assuming that this is just going to be like Sideswipe G1 colors.
Yeah. But anyway, for a movie figure, this is the best movie figure they could give me to be excited about buying a movie figure.
Now, is it because he's red, or is it because it's just?
I don't care about the red one.
Okay.
I don't care about the red. I think that Sideswipe the original Sideswipe toys, except for the one towards the end where he was the convertible that you could see through the car all the way because it was hollow.
Yeah.
But the sidearm Sideswipe is probably my favorite movie figure, hands down. And seeing this with a lot more solid feet, it looks like he won't have a standing problem like most of the Sideswipes do.
Yeah.
And it's the sidearm version, which I think really is a better looking figure than the one with the blades. Of course, this could be one in which you can do both. 'Cause I don't know if they would double dip and make one that does just the guns and one that does just the blades
Yeah.
versus one you can do both. And
I wouldn't hold it against Takara doing that, but being that they've already shown the blades and now they're showing the guns, I assume
Yeah.
it's gonna be sort of a complete set sort of thing.
yeah, so
Um,
I know a lot of folks aren't like hyped on movie stuff anymore. And I'm one of them, but it's just this is made for me, and I will take it.
I always liked his design. I mean, well, it's a toss up on his design, but his design is very much. Pretty sure if it didn't draw inspiration from Transtech Cheetor, it's shockingly fell into the same sort of design as Transtech Cheetor. Um, so I always kind of liked that about it. It reminded me of that design we never got. And plus, I'm a bit of a. I like my.
You like red
Chevy.
bots? You can.
I like my Chevy cars. I like my Corvettes and my Camaros and stuff like that. So always a little bit of a soft spot, even though this was always just a concept car. But it does look really cool in red too. And red is kind of
So
really pops.
what do you got to talk about this on, Brett? Like, what do you think of this thing?
Not interested. Not into the movie stuff at all.
Did Sideswipe get a Human Alliance figure?
Yes,
Yes, he did.
it was.
I feel like I must have a Human Alliance figure somewhere in my house then, because I feel like I had that.
It was kind of some of the Human Alliance stuff was really good. It was like not quite what Masterpiece would become, but it was using the price point a lot better. The Sideswipe was kind of clunky, unfortunately.
I mean, my
Yeah,
experience
those guys
with
kind of.
my experience with the movie molds, I didn't mind how Sideswipe transformed. I know you didn't really like the convertible version, Don,
Well, it's
but
just
the
it
one
was
that I liked from the convertible version was when they repainted him as Darkmount. That wild, crazy color scheme worked,
which
I
was
think,
basically
better than Sideswipe did on that car mold.
and actually that was a homage to Quicks. Well, no, they did one that was Quick Strike in
They
his
did a
in
quick
that.
strike one, yeah.
Yeah, now Dark. It was who now?
Darkmount. I believe it was
remember that.
Darkmount.
No, Darkmount was the Straxus from Generations because they couldn't get Straxus.
They did a quick strike, but it was black.
Yeah,
It was overall black, but it was called Dark Steel,
Dark Steel,
Dark
that's
Steel,
it.
Dark
That's
Steel,
why I'm
that-
getting them
that
mixed
was
up.
it, yeah.
My bad.
yeah,
and it was a quick strike homage, which I have that one obviously.
I
Yeah,
thought
and that
that
was-
was awesome. I really liked
That
the
was-
colors of that one.
That was a lot better. Kind
It
of like
was out
how-
of nowhere.
yeah. Kinda
They
like how
literally
Tra-
they saw that weapon he had, and they were like, "Scorpion tail," you know.
I mean,
But sorry, Don, go ahead.
I'm with you guys. I think this thing would be really cool. Like, I'm not into collecting movie masterpiece myself, but I really think they'd be dropping the ball if they don't give you blades and guns. It being a masterpiece, it should have pretty much everything there that Sideswipe actually does. Because guys that are really into the movie stuff, the movieverse stuff, they really like the crazy intricacy of them. So I can see why they would really want to see him have ability to do both. If they're not doing both, then they're kind of dropping the ball. I
Plus,
personally
there's probably-
like the red. I actually really like the red.
And there's probably not a lot of movie characters that have readily repaintable identities. I mean, Blackout would, if they did a Blackout, you could do the Grinder, which has been done in the leader class. But I can't think off the top of my head any movie characters that you could redo versus Sideswipe.
I mean, Jazz really didn't get a whole lot of love. They can redo Jazz
Yeah.
in his normal, martini.
Yeah. Yeah, and they could do the G1 colors on him again.
Or maybe even do the
I-
G2 one, which would be kind of cool to see music label thrown on it too.
Yeah, but I mean, but here's the sad thing. Sideswipe is probably the least important one of what we saw this week, and
It
we're
is.
gushing over Sideswipe, and he's
It's kind of
not
funny.
not putting Sideswipe down, but in the hierarchy of what they showed off, he's like near the bottom because we have three
Yeah.
other.
We do.
One, I'm not sure how I feel about that, and I'm not really lying.
You're not lying about it, huh?
I'm just let that joke lie in there.
But it glows in the dark. How often do we get glow in the dark Transformers?
It's not loading.
Like
Bro,
does this thing actually glow in the dark? Because it sure as hell looks like it.
I don't know why you're.
It's
I think that's what they're alluding to. It either glows in the dark or it's just, it's.
the plastic is colored to give it the. It's kind of like what they did for Gal Gaigar. They colored some stuff when it was that G-Stone green from the King of Braves Gal Gaigar. So it could just be that it's done in this really looks like it should glow but doesn't, but kind of is kind of thing.
Yeah, like maybe it's just. I'm thinking that they're saying it glows, but it could just be under a UV light, Yeah.
And we're talking about the recent redo of Lio Convoy. That was the
Takara
Legacy
release. Yeah, the Legacy
Tar-
Takara one, not the.
yeah. Boy, that's a modifier,
Hasbro
isn't it?
one.
Yeah, so there was the Hasbro Lyle Convoy that they remolded, and it's just now starting to go out to everybody that has the animation accurate head that can do the Matrix Buster sort of, or whatever it's called, Matrix, the Typhoon whatever attack that he does. And then this is a repaint of that, and it's also apparently they're calling it as like a new line, Transformers New Legends. And so who knows what that means. But this is the New Legends 01. And then anyone who doesn't know what this is, because this is like and it's kind of killing me because it's been so like we still haven't gotten a new Flash Lyle Convoy. The original Flash Lyle Convoy is still the only Flash Lyle Convoy, and we've had a Masterpiece and a Generations version of Lyle Convoy now, but this is a version of Lyle Convoy that, to my knowledge, has never gotten a figure, and this is the legendary Green Lion, and in the show, this is achieved when Lyle Convoy and Lyle Jr. Combine sparks or something like that. I'd have to go brush up on it again. And they become the legendary Green Lion, and then again in Beast Wars Neo, Big Convoy's Matrix helps Lyle Convoy achieve the legendary Green Lion state again. So this is like a special state of Lyle Convoy that's not Flash Lyle Convoy. It's not to be confused with Flash Lyle Convoy. It's another state of the character altogether.
Interesting.
Plus, I'm sure we'll also get probably the purple Galva Lio Convoy. So that's an option. The Flash is an option. So there's several repaint potentials for this. I would like to get one, but I was so underwhelmed by the Hasbro version. It's like, do I really want it again?
I've heard good things about the new version, with the remolded head and stuff. If you care about more accuracy, it's kind of it kind of really depends on where you fall on the whole trend, Beast Wars, the Japanese Beast Wars stuff too, But I think this is cool. I think it's funny that this is getting a figure before Flash. Yeah, it seems like Burning Convoy, or not Burning Convoy, but no, Burning Convoy. Um, he gets figures left and right, but Flash never gets anything. um, and so now even the Legendary Green Lion's getting a figure. I'll laugh if they give us out of this mold the Galvatron Lyle Convoy before they give us a new Flash. Because Flash Lyle Convoy, the original Flash Lyle Convoy is kind of strange because it doesn't really look anything like the animation. Like, really, it would be more close to that knockoff, like, pea yellow. uh, Lyle Convoy that's out there, at least in Lion mode. Um,
Well, I mean, there's a knockoff version out there, so technically you already have a Flash.
I don't have it. I mean, I have the original Flash, but I've been waiting for them. I was surprised we never got it with the Masterpiece because they gave us Burning Convoy, and I'm surprised that we still haven't gotten it with the Generations either. Yeah,
I mean, I'm looking at this thing and I'm hoping it has a glow-in-the-dark gimmick.
I'm pretty sure it does. I'm pretty sure but it is.
Because, like,
It doesn't look like it's in UV light in that image, and you can see that there's green and like in the black, sort of glossy surface that it's on. You can see the reflective of its plastic glowing. So I think it's all glow in the dark plastic. I could probably hit this with like Google Lens, and it would probably translate everything here and answer that question, but speculation is more fun.
I agree. So, Brett, what do you think of this guy? Do you like this or not? Or do you think it's weird?
Well, as green being my favorite color, I like that, but I don't really understand it. So,
But I mean, if it glows in the dark?
St. Patty's Lyle Convoy.
yeah.
I mean, this was a state that he achieved in the anime, so that's why it exists. But why they chose a legendary green lion in the anime, who knows? Japan.
Well,
This is his Super Saiyan 2, his Super Saiyan 1 being Flash.
the only reason I'm leaning toward the whole glow in the dark thing is because you guys remember when they revealed some of that Ghostbuster stuff just recently that all glows in the dark, the Ecto 1 and all those figures. I'm wondering if this is supposed to be kind of piggybacking a little bit on that whole crazy glow in the dark gimmick that Hasbro's trying to push out there a little bit.
I mean, I don't know. As far as we're aware, I mean, this is one of those Takara only lines, but I'm sure we'll get it in like they'll bring it over and put it in the black sleeve like they do. But yeah, I don't know. It's I'm interested to see what this line is. Like if it's starting off with a funky repaint that of a weird state of a character that I think existed for like 2-3 episodes tops. So, maybe New Legends is going to be a line full of weird stuff. Maybe it's just never going to go anywhere, but it's starting off with Lyle Convoy. Maybe it'll go to, maybe we'll get another version of Big Convoy. Who knows?
Glow in the dark version.
I'm waiting for them to reissue that Matrix canon again. With the new one instead of the old one.
Yeah. But yeah, I think he's kind of cool. I think he's kind of cool. I like him. This is the first time I've actually seen this thing because, like I said, I'd been at work, so it's kind of interesting. And basically kind of our last. Well, no, not our last one. What am I doing? We got one more before our last one. I don't know. Are we ready for another hot rod?
No.
Okay, I'm been trying to figure this out. Is this a new mold? Is this the
I think it's the
Hasbro
old one.
Voyager? Is it? Because I
Ah,
don't. I have not had a chance to sit down and figure this out. Is this a brand new mold? Is it the Voyager one? It's the magenta one is coming out, and they're running this and just giving it a more accurate paint job. I mean, I don't know.
I would have to defer to you guys. I've never, because they're calling this, they're calling this an MPG. They're calling this the Style Gen, which with the other Optimus, they're the Optimus that they call the Style Gen. That one was a new mold, but this one is. It seems like it's not a new mold, but is it the, um, is it just the '86 or is it the original, um, Hot Rod, the Masterpiece Hot Rod?
I don't think it's a masterpiece hot rod.
I
I
mean,
think that mold.
it looks
That'd be
like
too
the
old. I think-
86 to me.
Oh
Because
yeah.
the accessory loadout, this comes with the arc welder and the saw blade. The 86 came with that, didn't it?
Yeah.
I can't.
Yeah, and they
figure out
just
what
released that new Hot Rod, right?
I think it's
yeah.
weird that he comes like this translucent piece that is designed so you can just put all the weapons on the top or stick them on the back. I mean, that's kind of an afterthought.
All right, yeah, that's definitely. It definitely appears to be the generations. So it's weird that they're. It's. I mean, it's kind of weird that they're releasing the generations under the Masterpiece banner.
Yeah,
That kind of comes full circle. Everyone calls a lot of this stuff mini masterpieces, and now they're just being released as masterpieces. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, that's. I think that's a whole. I would like to get into that topic maybe in a couple weeks or so and talk about where Masterpiece is actually going compared to what everything else. But this thing, it's cool. I think it's neat looking, but I'm just like, I'm like you guys. I'm very confused of what one they're trying to put here in front of us, and I'm also like, do we really need another one? That's just kind of how I feel about it too.
the hot rod collectors would say yes, but
Oh,
I
do
see.
we know anyone that's a hot rod Rodimus Prime fan? Do we know anyone like that? I'm trying to think off the top of my head if we know someone like that.
I know we know one guy. I actually know
Yeah.
two, but you know.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So we'll probably be hearing about this from him or them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, more than likely. But yeah, I mean, it
now
looks
this is
good.
also a throwback because we were talking earlier about the throwback to the era when Takara was doing their own things. This is a throwback to when Takara decided to start releasing just normal figures under the Masterpiece brand for whatever reason. Which is an odd choice.
I don't know. I think I remember them doing that before in the past, and it's kind of like just a refresh back to what they were doing, and I don't see that as a bad thing, honestly. I'm just glad that they're doing it. I mean, does the paint
Yeah, I
on
just
this
hope
look
they don't.
completely different than any of the other ones, or is it just look sharper?
It's definitely different. It's a deeper red. I think most versions don't have his flames outlined. And just different stuff, like a lot of just minor details like that. Usually, like the joint and its arm is a different color, so you'd see like a gray joint there in vehicle mode and stuff like that. It's definitely like a cleaner, sleeker. Like the back of his legs aren't red, like I was seeing on all the images. Like they made it that black so that it's a uniform color in robot mode. Um, but yeah, it's just I to me, I just think it's weird to muddy up the masterpiece name, the masterpiece line, with like a mix of stuff like that. I know they've done it in the past. That's literally how the masterpiece movie line started, is taking like the leader class Starscream and calling it a masterpiece.
And that's what I was saying,
Yeah.
you know, pre-show.
Which they did eventually release an actual masterpiece Starscream. Um, but yeah, it's kind of weird to go back that way. I also kind of wonder, like, because that Style Gen Optimus isn't out yet, right?
No,
Um,
I thought mine was en route, but it wound up being something shipped through the same shipping service that I wasn't expecting. It was like, oh,
yeah, so I'm wondering if does this point to Style Gen being more like masterpiece, or does it point to Style Gen being more like a Generations figure? And is that Optimus kind of like a Generations Plus instead of a masterpiece?
no, that Optimus is supposed to be a masterpiece. It's the MP whatever this thing is called
RPG,
is
yeah.
is the rebranding for masterpiece.
Well, yeah, but
We
if
were,
this is, I'm just trying. I'm just like speculating on what Style Gen is going to mean to them, because
Yeah.
obviously it means they could drop in.
it'll mean whatever they can sell
Yeah,
and make
that's
money.
true. Because it seems like, it also means they can drop in an SS86. And does Takara release? I assume Takara gets the 86 stuff released domestically too. I'm pretty sure I've seen it up on
Well,
um, websites.
well, Holtz is carrying Missing Link Ultra Magnus, Delta Magnus. They've carried all the Missing Link stuff so far. I think they did have that IDW Rodimus, the first one of these. I believe that was on Pulse. The only thing Pulse really hasn't brought over is all the Wild King stuff, for the most part. So I think we'll see these on Pulse. But
Oh, for sure, yeah.
yeah, but as far as I think it's not being native and not being able to read what we're seeing here, we're missing a lot of context. I think it's whatever they feel fits that general line to give it the budget to make the character they want to release. So it's going to be kind of a mixed bag of what goes in there. The baseline is higher budget, more paint, more accessories, things like
Yeah.
that. It
Well,
maybe doesn't matter where it comes from. It's like it's what they can do in that line.
well, that's where I was going to kind of speculate. Like maybe they'll take some of those other 86 models. I mean, obviously, this looks like it's premiumly painted, right? It seems
Yeah.
like all the parts of it are painted. It's not just molded plastic. It's very glossy. It's very. It looks nice for what was the Generations 80, SS86 mold.
Right.
So
And the thing
maybe they can take things like Ultra Magnus and stuff like that and give it that same treatment, and maybe that's where this Style Gen will kind of toe a line between new molds and some of those old molds turned into like really really nice
Yeah.
decos.
The only problem is you run into like back in the day when we were talking about Takara doing their own thing, people would always say, "Well, I'll wait for the Takara version." Now you're going to be saying, "Okay, do I wait for the Style Gen version and hope you get hope it goes there?" But there's no way of without having more context on what this line is supposed to be. It's going to be a hodgepodge of whatever they think they can put in there.
Yep.
I mean
agree.
that hot rod a lot of people, the term mini masterpiece has been thrown around a lot lately. Some of it not warranted, but some of it is. And that hot rod probably is warranted because of, that level of transformation to get as that accurate as possible. So, if anything is going to be given the glossy treatment, I can see that as being one. And again, we'll probably get a magenta version of this, just like we're getting the magenta version now.
And then we'll probably get the black version, because they always do a black version.
Yeah, it's a prime. You always get a black version. Rada Machinist Cronus, or whatever whatever you want to call him.
Whatever you want to dub him this week.
Yeah. And of course, they can release him in the crystal blue with at the moment when you open the Matrix, and I'm sure there's some other Takara manga version that I'm not aware of that you could be another version.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm kind of curious to see where they're going to go with this. What do you think of this, Brett? Like, do you think going this direction with this is a good idea with this mini masterpiece generations versions?
I just think that they're using slots that I would rather see for other characters that we've been promised and that we haven't gotten, and instead we're getting a gussied up figure that we've already got. Although the chrome guns are nice. That's a nice touch.
I'm kind of hoping that glossy silver we're seeing there is more chrome. Like, I would love to see it just be chrome like it used to be. Same with the guns. Same with the
pictures I've seen. I've looked online and saw some other pictures. It looks chrome to me, which is nice. But like I said, I mean, there's so many other figures that they said were going to be in the Masterpiece now MPG line. We haven't gotten. Let me get those. I've already got a hot rod on the shelf.
Yeah.
I don't need another.
Yeah.
I feel like they're trying to refresh everything like every 10 years with Masterpiece, it feels like.
Yeah, but also look what happened with Siege and Earthrise. When that Siege Optimus came out, Earthrise Optimus was already either finalized or in pre-production. So it's like they were releasing one Optimus when they knew a somewhat better Optimus was already coming out. So it's like they can only do that so many times about either putting stuff that close together or re-releasing the same thing incrementally better from release to release until a lot of us are going to say, I'm done. I don't. It's like 86 Optimus. I do not need another G1 Optimus. I don't need another 86 Megatron, a G1 Megatron. I'm good.
And so I don't need another hot rod.
Yeah. So in that case, like me and Brett, we're on the same page. But they're going to keep doing it because that's where the money is.
Unfortunately,
maybe. Yeah, but maybe
there's always new collectors coming to. Like, I'm in a couple of other collector groups, like collector discords and stuff like that, and I see like a lot of younger guys super excited about a lot of the stuff coming out, and it's like,
and they're also, and let's be honest, they're not as jaded as we. They've not seen this as many times as we have. For us,
they're not on their 25th version of its prime yet.
Right.
They haven't been collecting it ever since the G1. They didn't go through, like the drought, and then all of a sudden we got reissues, and we got like newer versions of Hot Rod, that power linked, and then we got ones later on that was like, the Generations one, and then we had all these third-party add-on kits to them and all that. Like, they haven't gone through all of that. So I think it's cool for the newer generations to get into this stuff, because this is what's really going to carry this forward after us old guys hang our hats up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
it does bring up another interesting topic. Not topic, but just conversation.
Mhm.
'Cause we were talking about like when they started bringing out reissues and reimaginations of Armada, and we were like, yeah, we don't have a whole lot of need for that, but the next generation does. So now thinking along those lines, okay, reintroducing the G1. Okay, that may not be Don and mine our cup of tea, but I get it. I get it to bring people in, new collectors, and bringing the old characters. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, it it's just like when, like I said, when the Armada figures came out. Okay, that's a pass for me, but not for everyone else. This Hot Rod is a pass for me, but not for everyone else. I get it. So it's kind of the thing we were talking about before with Armada. We can apply to this.
I
Same
agree.
thing.
100%. Bro.
well, yeah. And one thing is that if you're a newer collector, let's say you started collecting Armada right after the Unicron trilogy or during it, and let's take Hot Rod as an example. You had Rodimus, okay, and then you had roughly Titan's Return, and then you had Power of the Primes, where he became Rodimus in that evolution set, and then we had 86 Hot Rod. There was others in between, but I'm just saying, a newer collector will see these jumps in characters more defined. Because if you go from Rodimus and to Power of the Primes in whatever how many years it was, that's a fairly significant change for the character. So you don't have this and then this and then this and then this and then this. You're seeing more change each time the character comes out versus, a tiny bit here, a tiny bit here. Oh, he's magenta versus red. So it's a matter of perspective.
Right. No, I see where you're getting at, Don. It's not like every time we turn around we see a new Bumblebee, we see a new Optimus.
Seems like it.
Like you're saying, like that's pretty much
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. Like we see those all the time, but with Rodimus, not so much. Hot Rod,
Right.
not so much. I mean, we're gonna just about to jump into our other one that we want to talk about. Talking about evolving.
You might say it's an evolution revolution.
Yes.
All right.
These machines.
Now this,
Sorry.
like, if you're say you're a new collector that's never touched a Generation 1 Transformer ever. You like dinosaurs. This is probably going to be your best iteration ever of Grimlock in its more purest form other than being the G1.
I mean,
Because this thing is articulated, which is insane. I love this.
This, I think, other than Sunstreaker, this might be the most wanted thing since Missing Link came into being. Because it's Grimlock, it's Dinobots, and I'm going to make a prediction here that because this week on RFC we're making our 2026 predictions. We are getting all 5 Dinobots. We will be getting all 5 Dinobots in Missing Link. I have absolutely zero hesitation in saying that because they will sell. You can do Diaclone versions. You can do G2 versions. You could do Argentinian versions. You could do 3. They weren't. They were Diaclone. Yeah, they were Diaclone. So, well, Megamus, how many recolors of Grimlock are there?
Official?
Yeah, how many times was he recolored officially? Counting all the variations. Didn't Argentina get a version?
4. There's 4 official recolors.
Right.
There's
And that's
the
just
original. There's the G2 in silver or in gray. The G2 in blue, and then the G2 in turquoise. Those are the four official.
right.
But then if you look at the Diaclone and then the gobs and gobs and gobs of vintage knockoffs that they did of him,
Yeah.
there's
So,
just
but this is it's stunning. Is that a good word? Because I can't think of anything else other than
I can think of a word that's been used too much.
what?
It's a masterpiece.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
that's
mean,
serious. This to me is more of a masterpiece than that daggone masterpiece Grimlock sitting up there. Yeah, it's
well,
tall,
now,
but I like
now,
this 10 times better.
now, let's be honest. That masterpiece Grimlock, for its time, was an incredible piece. I mean, it was as close as we've ever gotten to this, as best as possible. Just
Depends on
it's
what you consider the term masterpiece.
right. Yeah. Again, perspective. It all
The
goes
biggest
into
problem
perspective.
with the original masterpiece, or with that masterpiece Grimlock, is that stomping gimmick. That's like, why does it exist? Other than that, um, you know, man,
Because Grimlock's king. He can stomp if he
this thing
wants.
is cool. This thing's awesome. It's on my list, but I've been in the anime version camp so far. I'm waiting for Bumblebee and Cliffjumper to release. That's coming later this year. And then, we haven't seen an announcement yet for an anime version of Sunstreaker. Who knows if that will ever even happen? Um, Ultra Magnus. I gotta contemplate whether I'm gonna buy this one and its release, or wait for what I think will be an inevitable animated version. But definitely excited to have it. I've never really, I've never had a G1 Dinobot. I have touched not a G1 Dinobot. I touched. I think Jason let me hold his Diaclone one or something like that. Yeah. Um, I did not dare to transform it. I made him do it because I said I'm not going to break this. um, but yeah, so I'm looking forward to owning one. I've really enjoyed the missing link stuff. It's a fun throwback to because owning those old toys, like, if you weren't a kid when they came out, they don't mean a whole lot to you, but it's always interesting to hold them. But to then have that original, sort of that homage to that original design by staying pretty close to it, but then also having all the articulation bits that you have come to expect from Transformers, sort of makes them a really fun way to experience the old while having all the benefits of the new. You know. And
Well,
Grimlock, there's no better character to do it with than Grimlock.
so I'm looking at, let's see, it's Daniel Collins. He commented, and he says that he'll just stick with his original G1, and that's fine. Here's my thought, and maybe this will make him rethink what he just said. I I grew up with these. I grew up the G1, okay? And the biggest complaint I ever had is they didn't do what I saw in the cartoon. And, the articulation was very limited. And then you fast forward and we got like Ultra Magnus or Power Master Prime, the quintessential bricks. And I'm like, these things don't do anything. I always wanted more articulation. So when you give me these characters that I grew up with, the style I grew up with, I have not, of course, I do not have this figure. It's not out yet, but I guarantee I know how to transform it. And then it has these little special features that make it even more posable. That is a win on top of a win on top of a win. Love it.
The only question I have is how articulated do you think his tail's going to be? I don't think his tail's going to be very articulated because it
I
doesn't
don't
look
think
like
it
it
will
moves
be.
much.
They
No,
changed
it
that
doesn't
at all.
look good.
It looks more like the legs slash arms, the waist, the head. And of course the legs. So it's more of the robot mode. Although if you
Mhm.
look, the dino head does turn, and it never did that.
Yeah, that's
So
a
there's going to be
huge plus.
some different, you know, joints and gears and everything. And does that mean that the tail might be able to turn? It might. Can't really tell from these pictures, but these are early pictures.
I think it looks like there might be the possibility of it
Let me find a better one.
maybe having some swivel to it and maybe some side to side to it, just by the way that swivel hinge connection to its legs is. Um,
Like, because
but
most of
I don't
us
I don't think you're gonna get a ton out of it.
most of us know how he transforms and like how the legs fold up to the back, and how part of his back and the tail is all together. I wonder if the waist itself for the robot mode actually acts like an articulated part to be able to turn the tail maybe a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, I think the back end of it looks like it might be able to go up and down a little bit, to sort of curve the tail upwards. If you look at its beast mode, the way it attaches there, there's like that circular
I'm
bit.
trying to get a close up of
But
that picture on the left bottom,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
and I'm not finding one. I'm trying to find one.
I don't think you're gonna get a ton out of it, but it's always hard to say.
Now, this
Um,
is my question here. He comes with a chrome sword.
mhm.
Yeah, that's a throwback to Diaclone.
Yeah, and that is a straight Diaclone thing to do. So, if we're talking about like animation accurate, do you guys think they're gonna ditch all the gold and actually make it just yellow, and then give him maybe a red sword?
And maybe
Oh,
I'm-
I mean for the animated version.
Yeah, for the anime version, do you think that might be something they'll do?
Mm.
Yeah, I mean, the variations on this thing. I mean, is there's people are going to want toy version and anime version.
yeah.
So I don't have any doubt because we've already seen them do Bumblebee and Cliffjumper coming out soon. That has the animation heads and whatever other changes they might have made. So yeah, I do. I don't have any doubt we will eventually get all five, and then they may do all five in animation as well. Probably depending on how well Grimlock sells. Because if you buy, who's going to buy just one Dinobot? Unless it's your favorite, and that's all you want on the shelf. Because we are all completists to a degree when it comes to teams. That's why Hasbro has said they always try to complete teams. So,
Someone, yeah.
yeah. So, yeah.
Looking at these pictures, I can honestly say the tail does not move any different than the original. It has the same joints and everything. And just going by the top to bottom in that robot mode, it looks like you're going to have the robot head on a swivel joint. We have ball joint. Looks like you're going to get ball joints for the arms. You'll get a swivel for the elbow swivel, or the what is that? Bicep swivel. Looks like the hands are going to be rotating. I foresee the waist. You'll have a mid thigh, and it looks like you're going to have the addition of a heel spur, which is nice. That's just going by what I can see in the pictures. The little dyno arms looks like they got some articulation they didn't have before. But as far as the back end of the dyno, it looks the same. So I don't think you're going to get any, like in that chrome piece, you're not going to get any articulation there. The most you could hope for is where the tail meets the back end. You might have some sort of a pivot there that you can't see.
You're talking about where the circular part is, right? Where it might just kind of wave
that
up and
circular
down.
part, that circular part is exactly like the G1. If
Yeah.
you move up towards the back end of the dyno, you can't see it because of the legs in the way. There might be some sort of a joint there that would make you be able to move the whole tail side to side or up and down, but I doubt it because the legs on the robot look the same.
I mean, Grimlock actually, like the original toy,
I mean, he had some
didn't
articulation.
have crappy articulation. It was okay,
Well,
especially
he
for
was
the time.
he was a brick.
Yeah.
All right, G1 you can label some things as bricks. Okay, Power Master Prime, that's a brick, 100% brick. Okay,
Hey, I love my brick.
Ultra Magnus, sorry, it was a brick. I mean, if you can't move your legs and stuff, give me a break. So, yeah, it had articulation at the time, but then to see this, I'll buy these all day long.
Yeah, I think my only. It's going to depend on how much. I think it's really going to depend on how much influence Hasbro would have on getting the rest of the Dinobots, because Takara has a history, and even Hasbro had a history only doing Grimlock.
Yep.
How
How many Masterpiece Grimlocks do we
would
have?
love to see
How many
the rest
Masterpiece
of them.
other Dinobots do we have? None.
And I hope to see the rest of them, because I think all of them are easy wins for Missing Link. But
And they're easy wins.
yeah,
Well, most of like the Dinobots themselves actually had pretty okay articulation.
I
the way
think
they
if you look at every
transformed.
I think if you look at every single one of them, you can see how they articulate it, right? I think that's the big thing there.
So let me ask you this: what do you think is harder to do?
Sound
To
wave.
ground up design a toy, or to take an existing one and make it better? It's easier.
I think it's
The
easier.
point is that it's already there. They're just improving upon it.
Well,
So it would make sense to keep doing this.
the only issue, though, with this, Brett, is the fact that you have to remember Takara had lost the molds to the original Dinobots.
I don't
So-
think they need the molds though, right? They really
But
just
this is the thing.
get a figure and scan it in.
Yeah, I was about to
Right.
say reverse engineering is a big thing nowadays. I mean, that's how they gave us. Like, you guys remember that Optimus Prime we all got that was about around $50 or so at Walmart when it first came out? It was just a cab. Everybody threw a fit about it, not knowing that that was completely a whole new mold they had to make. That's why it was so expensive. Because they basically took what they could of a Diaclone one and actually scanned it in and built a whole brand new mold cut to make that, because that mold had been torn up. Like, that's they couldn't spit out any more of those. And like I said, reverse engineer. Yeah, I mean, it's going to cost more, but I mean, to be honest, I don't think anybody's going to care how much it's going to cost, especially if it's more Dinobots. Especially if somebody can get hold of Swoop.
Well,
where
like I
the
say, if
beak
you
doesn't
scan,
break.
if you 3D scan, even if you just had the figure and you didn't take it apart, you just 3D scanned it in and started cutting into it in a CAD program and stuff like that, you know, the technology makes things like that a whole lot easier these days, you know.
Oh yeah.
Which is
But
where
this is something else to think of. What do you think the price point's going to be on these?
I think Oh, y'all go ahead. Y'all go ahead.
Well,
I've talked.
I
this
think it's
guy-
gonna be like I think it'll be like Sunstreaker and Corden,
No,
I guess.
no. If you look at the original lineup of the Autobot cars and then the Dinobots were more, even back then. So I think you could take that same thought and put it into today's market. So I'm going to say these are probably going to be probably 30 to 40% more. So I'm going to say they'll be at about the $130 to $140 range.
I was about
That
to
would
say
be-
about the same thing, Brett. That's about what I was thinking.
They're considered a bigger class than the Autobots were. You know, I mean, it just like Soundwave was more expensive. It was bigger.
I think it's also a part count thing, because if you think about the engineering on these compared to the Autobot cars, everything is kind of like symmetrical. It was easy for them to. This is this. This is this. This is this. With this one, you have a lot more joints that are built in. So I think because of the part count, it will drive it up to about, I'd say 135, approximately.
Yeah, I mean, you've got the part count, but I'm just wondering how much of the engineering is going to balance out. I'm just saying because it's still going to be a relatively simple transformation as far as that goes. Because if you deviate too far from that, it's not Grimlock.
Well, I
But I'll-
foresee these being exactly the same, just like
Yeah.
Sunstreaker,
also-
where you could transform them just like you were the original, but
Right.
then you could do the extra step.
Right. And then also look at the accessories. I mean, we don't know. I mean, we see some of the accessories, but is this everything he comes with?
Yeah,
Gun.
every one of them
I
come
mean,
with a Diaclone driver too, which is awesome.
yeah, so I'm saying, is there more than what we're seeing here, or is this it? If this is it, this is all that comes with he comes with, and the transformation is very similar, which will be very simple. I'm thinking it's going to be about 119 because they're not going to want to price people out of buying this if they have any plan on doing other colors and making the other 4 Dinobots, because you want to get people hooked. Someone like Sludge and Snarl might be a little higher because their transformations are a little more involved, whereas someone like Swoop might be a little bit cheaper.
I agree with all that except for the fact that I can see them going for the higher price point because of the name.
Yeah,
Just because
I mean,
it's Grim.
yeah.
Honestly.
It could go either way. People will spend more that it's Grimlock. This is now, Brett. You bought the trains. You bought the trains, and
Why you got to keep reminding me of that?
no. The reason
There was a mistake. You shouldn't have done it.
I haven't even put them together yet.
I know the
I
reason
haven't
I'm
even.
saying
I don't even know if I'm shamed yet.
right, no. If I'm going to borrow a quote from
Dave.
Bobby Skullface.
Dang.
If you like it,
Dang.
you win. If you like it, you win. I'm borrowing that from Bobby.
I ain't got no room for it yet.
Yeah, but here's the thing. They gave the train mode the priority in order to meet probably the manufacturer, the license holder's requirements. We understand that. But
Mhm.
with the Dinobots, you have to just make sure you're not beholden to anybody else other than making it look like Grimlock. So you're not going to really deviate far from what Grimlock should be. So, and if you're wanting to sell a set, you don't want to say like, we're going to make this $149.99 and they'll get X number of orders. And people might be willing to spend that for Grimlock. Would
Mhm.
you be willing to spend that same price for Swoop?
Me? Yeah, Swoop's
Yeah.
my favorite.
Right.
That's
Okay, but I'm just saying.
But the truth of the matter is that you I don't think that they're looking that far ahead. Otherwise, we would have.
I think they'd be a fool. I think they'd be a.
these Dinobots, and we don't.
I think they'd be a fool. I think they'd be a fool not to be planning on a whiteboard. They've got the other 4 Dinobots, and depending on how well Grimlock sells, because again, you're going to want to complete the set. You don't want just one Dinobot, one missing link Dinobot on it. That'd be a very sad shelf. Look at my missing link Dinobots. It's just one of them. Yeah, they just did one.
They did it before.
I think they've done it before.
They haven't given a side swipe to go with Sunstreaker yet.
Right. But on a team as popular as the Dinobots, them not planning to do the at least having some schematics, some designs, some CAD work done, and pricing this thing outrageously high to get the people that will be willing to pay that because it's Grimlock is one thing. But you run a risk of, one, alienating your people who at a slightly lower price point would buy all 5.
Maybe.
Yeah, I can see him being maybe. I'm thinking he's not going to be any more than the Optimus at 120.
Yeah,
If I had to guess, I would think somewhere maybe more around RC, but it is Grimlock after all. Like you guys said, 120, because you can still get that missing link Optimus with the trailer and everything for 120.
yeah. So I mean, that's just the way that I'm seeing it. Is pricing it high because it's Grimlock is one way to go, but then how many people are you cutting off at the ankles who would buy a whole set but can't afford it because you're overpricing it? What you would lose per unit, you will make up for in both increased sales and better goodwill.
All I can say is that we're going to have to wait and see, and we'll see.
Yeah, that's right.
And RC was because RC as a brand new mold was $100, right?
Yeah.
Keep it at that.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
I think $100 is a sweet spot for this guy. Honestly, I think going over $100 is probably a little too much. But that's just.
I think they could probably put the 120 easily, but
yeah. I think if they redo the original window box packaging, and like they did for RC and everyone else, and not just a solid box like for Bumblebee and Cliffjumper, and they actually recreate the box, I think that would be the closer to the 120. If they just do a solid non-window box, I think it could be a little bit cheaper than that.
Well, you know why? That's how they came.
Well, in Japan, yeah,
Correct.
Yeah,
so
in Japan,
this is going to have a window box because that's how it was in Japan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They try to stay true to the packaging at least.
Correct.
I love those boxes. The opening up and having that styrofoam and everything. It's been nice having.
But I'm just wondering if for Grimlock, would a window box be the better choice? But again, Japan doesn't really care about. Some companies in Japan do not care about money from outside Japan. I understand that. We've talked about that before. Look at your Gundam. Look at your Power Rangers fans. You know how hard it is for them to get stuff. But I think a window box would be a smarter move.
They canceled.
I know. Yeah, I know people in Japan would probably prefer the original box, but I think a worldwide appeal in the Europe and the American market, those markets where Grimlock got the window box, I think you would see your sales phenomenally higher than just a plain box. But
there's no doubt in my mind it'll be a window box. It'll be just like we saw with Sunstreaker. You said you're confident about all 5 of them. I'm confident about the window box.
Yeah,
it would all settle around, so maybe $100 to $120. If they push it higher, wouldn't be surprised. But
I can see I can see me. Now, I am not your typical collector. I am not typical anything. Actually, that's my wife. I can see this me paying $500 for all 5. Maybe a little more, maybe a little less, depending on how it works out. But when I look at that shelf and I look at the boxes and I look at the figures on that shelf, I would have no problem with that. My bank account would hate me, but it would be an awesome shelf.
Well, here comes the question I have. How much are the vintage ones compared to these now? Like, price point wise, usually. Like a vintage Grimlock that's in box, is that about around 150, 160?
Oh,
no.
oh no, God, no.
You talking about U.S. or Japanese?
Let's go with the U.S. because most of us in the U.S. are going to be the ones looking at this.
I haven't looked at them recently, but just to find one, let me look here real quick. But
I'm not talking
can tell
about
you
mint and box. I'm talking like, on average.
Oh, I thought you were talking boxed. You're saying
With
loose?
box. Not mint
With
and box. With box.
And you can get a crappy box, I'd say, for about 160 bucks.
Well, here's okay.
For the really
I
crappy
pulled.
box.
Okay, well, here's one right
Some
here.
really
I pulled up G1 Grimlock with box, and there's one at Transformers Land. I think that's them. $249. There's one that's loose, $100. Here's one that's loose and complete, no box, for $199.
Okay.
Also but you also have to remember these Dinobots have been AO'd with
Not
with that high quality KO boxes.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And I bought a full set for $120 because I just wanted them in the box for my Dinobot shelf.
Yeah, I was going to tell you, if you want a G1 box when it looks really, really good, there's one for $65.
Yeah. I mean, can you go by that? Not really, but I'm just saying there are people that would pay the $130 for this versus $70 for that, and have somewhat the same thing. Apples to applesauce.
I mean, it is somewhat the same thing. The reason I'm asking this is because, think about this. The Diaclone drivers alone, have you guys priced Diaclone drivers by themselves? One single driver usually goes for anywhere between $65 to $100 just for a driver.
I'm glad you told me that. So when I get this, I can
price
sell
first.
No, I'm just saying, like, I've seen them on eBay. I'm talking
You
ones that are not missing the magnets on the bottom. I'm talking the authentic ones, the ones that actually have like the die cast middle. They're not knockoffs. They usually go for quite a bit.
Where?
You
asked who has priced them out. Yes, I have, because I have a lot of them.
Okay.
Yes.
Usually,
anywhere. Some go for $35. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Depending on which one you're looking for, but they can go considerably higher. Depends on which ones they went with.
Right. Because I know there's variants on them, and it also depends on whether you're getting water rotor or what they were.
There's types, there's colors, there's
right.
Depending on which ones you're looking for.
So, what I was going to say is, if you've never had a G1 Grimlock, or you've always wanted a G1 Grimlock that's kind of minty and fun to play with, also comes with the driver gimmick. This is what you want. Literally what they're giving us right now. Because price point wise, this is even, I hate to say it, even more cherry than the original one. Because it gives you a chance to actually play with it and actually have the experience of having the driver. Because, I mean, Brett knows that those drivers are not easy to find, are they?
No.
Well, I'm looking on when you said that because I'm thinking, hey, I can sell my Diaclone drivers that I have already and make some money back. But
Mhm.
there's two in this. There's two I looked up. Missing link Diaclone. There's two with missing body parts that have sold for 20 and 25 a piece, and they're missing an arm and a leg.
That's my
But I
point.
haven't seen.
Missing link?
Yeah,
Man, people will buy anything.
I mean, if yours is broken, missing the other stuff, and you can repair it, that's understandable. But I don't see any. I don't see any other drivers showing up right now.
But that's the point. Is every time I've looked up Diaclone drivers, they're really difficult to come across. And when they do come across, like Brett was saying, they go for anywhere between 35 to about $100 a piece, depending on the color or whichever one it is, right?
Or more.
Well, the Warrooters, I know those go for a hell of a lot more because they're the alien guys, and those are harder to get.
Yeah, but I mean, just like the all white, I can't remember what type it is. I think it's type 2.
Yeah.
They came with the white Lamborghini is exceptionally hard. And then there's 4 that came with Prime, if I remember correctly. Those are hard because those are a different type. They're yes, they go from somewhat expensive to stupidly expensive.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not even. There's a reason why they're stupidly expensive. You can't find them. It's just simple as that. You can't find them.
Or if you do,
You know,
somebody knows
it's
what
one of
they
the
have.
things. How much is that one of a kind item you have? I don't know. You haven't sold it yet.
Yeah, I imagine a lot of those little guys are, being dug up from sand pits and some parks in Japan.
Probably. I mean, they were really easy to lose because they're called inchmen for a reason because they're 1 inch tall. But I think it's absolutely fantastic that all
the new ones
missing
are like
link.
centimeter men.
Yeah, it's just I think it's fantastic that all these missing link figures that are coming out are coming with those little Diaclone drivers because that was a missing thing in the United States. Over here, we didn't get the little drivers. They took them out because they didn't want kids swallowing them. It's the only reason.
Confused. No, it's not. It's because they didn't want to be confused because Transformers don't have drivers.
Well, that too.
That was the whole thing of it. Because the missiles of themselves are even smaller than the drivers.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they wouldn't have had those if it was a swallowing issue.
Just
it didn't fit. It didn't fit what Hasbro was selling, so they took it out.
But I mean, I think it's a great addition. Which to me, I just want to see this guy done in blue. I really want a G2 version of this. He would just look fantastic in blue, I think. But that's me because I'm biased because I like my Generation 2 stuff. But do you guys think they may dip into doing the tiger striped one?
In Japan, no.
I think that there's a lot more they could do first before they. I mean, I'm surprised we even got it as part of that Walmart capsule from the leader class. I really, really am. I think they would do that as a show exclusive somewhere because there's no real matching Dinobots to that, really. At least as far as that I would think of.
Well, there's technically no matching set for the G2 either.
The concept art was done for Sludge and Swoop, so I mean, it wasn't
Correct.
produced, but I mean, you've got artwork. I don't think there's anything for the other Dinobots that would have gone with that Grimlock, and that would be a perfect show exclusive for somebody, Wonderfest or whatever the case may be.
It kind of makes me
I
wonder
think-
if we'll ever get like a.
I think your repaints are going to be based one way or the other on sales.
Yeah, I think Everything after, depending on how well Grimlock does.
Right, but I look at it one of two ways. And understand when I say this. If it does extremely well, they're going to say we need more Grimlock. If it does extremely poorly, they're going to think, how can we make money on these molds? So I kind of can see it either way. But it's going to be a sales pitch. You know?
Yep.
You get griped up because you came up with the idea for the Master or the Missing Link Grimlock and it didn't sell well. Well, I get it, boss. We got to make some money. We've already got the molds. Let's just change the color and we'll pump out a few more. That would be my argument. My argument is, hey, that Missing Link Grimlock did really, really well. Let's do other colors and make more money. Okay. So I can kind of see both.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah, but-
ultimately, it's just going to be how well it does.
Yeah, a little of column A, a little of column B.
Mm-hmm.
You're saying if it only does mediocre, we expect nothing.
I'd say if it falls under the radar, it's probably, they're going to be like, well, let's move on to the next one.
I really can't see. I cannot see this unless they overprice it, or for some reason make it impossible for your average outside Japan person to get.
Yep, distribution's going to be what'll kill this.
Mhm.
I don't even think the price is going to kill it. I think distribution's what will get it.
Like if they make it like a Japan only exclusive, and you have to go through a middleman, and they won't let Pulse carry it, and they won't export it, and then Big Bad has to go through their middlemen, and then that boosts the price up another $30 to $40. That'll be how this dies. Is if they are so dead set on no one but Japan getting it.
Right, and I think that would go with any line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you start cutting the distribution, how are you hoping to make lots of money?
Yeah,
You're-
I mean, as someone who's bought a lot, who's had to deal with a lot of like premium Bandai stuff, they do it sometimes. I don't expect Hasbro and Takara to do it, but I mean, we're getting weird stuff like, they're bringing over. You can order that Zoid's Optimus Prime, right? You can order him on Pulse and stuff like that. So I don't see them doing that with one of the most popular characters like Grimlock, right? When they're the really weird stuff, the Macross Prime, like that stuff is really Japan market focused, and they're still giving us an outlet for that. So I don't think Hasbro and Takara don't seem to be in the business of trying to make things exclusive, and a lot of the Japanese companies have sort of learned that that's it works inside Japan. It doesn't work outside of Japan, because even Bandai has the premium Bandai stuff that is web exclusives in Japan. A lot of times it's a normal release in the States, unless it's Gundam. Apparently Gundam still has that problem. But
That's just Gunpla, man. That's just how they do that over there, because it's so like their kits.
I just
are
don't think
like great over there.
I think even outside of Japan, Gunpla is just not big enough, and that's why. But a lot of their other stuff is they've sort of done a different distribution for the rest of the world than they do in Japan, where it's an exclusive. I think the last thing we had with Takara was like Takara Mall exclusives. Those weren't necessarily hard to get, but it's been a long time since there's been anything like that that was not immediately distributed on Pulse.
Yeah, I just don't see them not putting that on Pulse. I mean, I think it's silly if they don't,
Yeah.
because that's just
I mean,
literally just shooting themselves in the foot.
Well, we've seen them do that before on other stuff. That would be a absolute gold mine for them, and it's like, no thanks. We have enough money. We're good.
Yeah.
Which makes no sense to me at all, other than the fact that, oh, well, we don't want to pay X amount of import fees or whatever to get it manufactured and sent over here, which is probably the only thing they would be balking at,
But it'll be It'll be in, but now this thing is the date on these was it 1/14, I believe, which is 3 day, which is Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
So these may be going up pre-order or more information on Wednesday. I'm not sure which.
Yeah, but the question on that would be is when are they going to be available? 'Cause,
That's what I'm saying.
We're still
They
waiting
may,
on Ultra Magnets.
yeah. Well, I mean, they may be going. There may be more information like a T-Spark or whatever video coming out showing off this stuff, or it could be pre-orders are going up. We don't know.
Hey, I don't want to hear anything about Ultra Magnus. Do you know how long that Lio convoy with the animated face is taking to come out? I think it's been a year and a half.
Well, there was the figure would not transform, so they had to go back and fix that because the figure literally could not transform.
Well, the other thing is just to think about. We were talking about pricing and everything. I mean, I'm looking on Big Bad Toys, and Missing Link Ultra Magnus is $195.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a lot.
It's a lot. I think if you look at the brick that they turned into a posable figure, it makes some sense, but it's a lot. It is a lot.
Yeah.
109, almost $200 for that thing is hard to swallow. But
Oh, look at it this way: the Optimus in that set by itself was half that cost.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So half of that cost is just that Optimus. So you're getting brand new armor with new engineering.
Not to mention the battle buggy.
The battle buggy
That's a
for
whole new
$100.
figure thrown in there.
So really, you're paying if you want to break it down that way, you're paying $100 for the other Optimus, and let's say
Right.
the other Optimus in the buggy, and the other $100 is for a completely brand new trailer that transforms with matching articulation. So if you look at it that way, it's not as bad.
Well, and I might have to redo my cost on these because I forgot. I mean, I picked my Sunstreaker up for $100 at my comic shop, but they were actually retailed at $85.
Yeah. So you paid a little bit. You paid a little bit of a convenience fee.
I paid a little premium. So with that in mind, I could see Grimlock being right around 100 because that's still right at 22% over, so close to what I said.
yeah.
I just think that Grimlock is definitely going to be more than the Sunstreaker was.
Yeah, I could see him being more close to RC. I think they could push it up to the original Prime price that came with the trailer if they really wanted to.
I still don't understand why RC was more than Sunstreaker.
I mean, it's a whole new mold and everything, right? So
yeah, but
or even a whole because they didn't have really anything to start with.
No, I get that.
A wooden
But
prototype.
sitting on this shelf, looking at it as a
I doubt that thing
I would
exists.
want that much more than me. Doesn't make sense.
I think it's just I feel like it was we can because it's it's something that people are going to want because they saw it 40 years ago in a magazine.
I mean, I can see the Dinobots selling.
Oh,
I
absolutely.
I don't see them going. Like I said, 130 to me would be the highest they could ever go. Like 130, 135 on that. Before they pretty much price people out of wanting to buy it, without.
I think if anyone's
"Screw it, I'm
going to
buy
go,
a vintage one or whatever,
I think if anyone's going to go for more than the rest, it would be Grimlock, obviously, because it's going to.
Sure. Right, but I don't know. Honestly, I think we would need to look at the sales on the Ultra Magnus to see. So you could probably try and figure out. Well, Ultra Magnus is kind of popular. It wouldn't be that.
Is the Diaclone
why-
colored one
why-
already up for pre-order?
Yeah.
And went up at the
So,
same
so
time.
why would he not sell more, or as well? Then the only thing I could think of would be because they priced him too high. Because 200's pretty steep for that, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's a bit of a
That's a big jump.
shock the first time you look at it. I, I think like Don was saying, if you start to really itemize everything, you can work
Sure.
yourself into accepting the price. But yeah, when your initial shock reaction is, I'm going to pay $200 for a G1
I mean,
Ultra
that's a big jump.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not talking about justification to a degree. We all do that in this hobby. Every hobby, you always justify something,
Especially if you want to buy it.
right? But I'm just saying, if you look at what you're paying versus what you're getting, just to have a better idea. $100
sure.
for $100 for an Optimus that you've already done, and then $100 for brand new armor and a Doom buggy.
Sure. Unless you don't want to pay that much, then you're like, that's twice as much. Why should I pay for that? Then you just, solidified your decision not to buy it. So it can go either way.
And then some people go in the aftermarket to buy it and then turn around and kick themselves because the aftermarket's about $30 or $40 over retail.
I said it before, and I'll say it again. I usually buy from my comic shop. Yep, that's the secondary market, you could call it. But one, I'm helping him, and two, I get my $25 off.
Right.
So,
well, I understand that, but I'm talking about like somebody that buys it and it's no longer available online. Like, take 2 years. Take this Optimus that come out off the market for 2 years. How much do you think that's going to bump in value at that point?
I don't
see what
know.
I'm getting at?
When was the first one?
Well, it's like I'm gonna have the pulse right now. I ordered Missing Link Ultra Magnus because I really liked the way it looked. Then they announced the Diaclone version, and Powered Convoy Diaclone itself, I respect it, but it's never been important to me. What's important to me is these toys after they became Transformers. But I do want that mold. But I've also got Studio Series 86 Ultra Magnus. I really don't need another Ultra Magnus, no matter how nice it is. So I'm planning on canceling my Missing Link Ultra Magnus and keeping the Diaclone, because that way I do have the mold and in a color that I don't have a representation of, other than the shattered glass one from that Ultra Magnus.
Where did you pre-order your Ultra Magnus through?
Pulse, because Ultra Magnus there right now. When I ordered it, was $194 plus tax. Same thing for Power Delta Magnus. So, if I'm going to spend that, I'm going to get a color palette that I don't already have, again, other than the Shattered Glass version. So that's how I'm justifying. Is at least I'll have the mold. I'll have it, and technically it's still movie Ultra Magnus. If you look at the preliminary footage they released in the UK, so it's still movie Magnus.
Yep, I agree.
And it's like,
I think it's cool. I'm just,
yeah.
I don't know. I'm more into the Diaclone colored ones. That's just something I've always loved. For some reason, I like the Transformer colored ones, but really, the Diaclone stuff for some reason just felt better. I don't know what it was. It just kind of felt more.
Yeah.
I don't know, just super robot to me. Just kind of how I felt about it.
I'm over here in the third class. I'm wanting the animated version.
Well, it's all going to come down to, let's just see what they do next.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, like, so far, I'm still waiting. Who knows if, like I said, who knows if Sunstreaker's ever going to get an animated version. Who knows about Ultra Magnus. I would be perfectly fine with the normal Toy Colors Ultra Magnus if I end up having to settle on that. And same with Sunstreaker, but I'm just like, I don't want to buy them, and then 6 months from now they're going to be like, animated colors Sunstreaker, So
Well, the problem is, and I was just looking to make sure, they haven't been around long enough to know if they're going to go up in value or go down in value or stay the same. So you kind of do have that little FOMO. Do I buy the Sunstreaker now, hoping that they don't come out with the animator, or do I wait from the animator and hopefully this one doesn't shoot up in price, which I doubt.
Well,
But
and then I wish I knew how
before.
popular the animated stuff was, right? Because
I think it would be stupid of them not to do it.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, they're already doing it with the mini bots. I mean, why not? But I don't work for them, so
yeah, we'll see what they do.
You never know.
all I could say is I'm going to buy all the missing links. So
They're
Don't
a
cry
whole lot
out
of fun. Yeah, I would love to see, like, I don't think I necessarily would want to see this with other lines, but I do think it could be fun to see a more maybe throwback line that is not so much a direct, like, take an old toy and make it have articulation, but make a new toy that feels like an old toy sort of thing.
they tried that once before; it didn't work real well. Wasn't Hasbro though.
That was Van's project, and I have Glacial Lord, and I thought that thing was phenomenal.
I did too, but obviously didn't do well. I mean, at one point they were selling them for like $30 each.
Oh yeah, there's
Disc?
honestly right now on BBTS you can still buy Tusker, the Saber and the
Yeah, there's
Rhino.
3 of them that are, like,
Or not the Rhino,
always
but
on
the
sale.
Armadillo. You can still buy all 3.
That's what I'm saying. So the idea was fun.
Mhm.
It just didn't. It wasn't
Well,
received.
because, like, not so much like a missing link Beast Wars, but I was just thinking, like, think of that Cheetor mold made
Better.
made better, still kind of a chunky looking, weird looking cheetah thing, but just with a more,
What?
fitting
There's-
sort of, I mean,
there's
I
a-
think that would be fun, but
There's a thought in and of itself. Who says Missing Link has to be G1?
I think it'd be interesting to see some of the Beast Wars ones reimagined with modern articulation that were the vintage toys, because some of them could benefit from some of that.
now what I really want to, like, I want a missing link Hound, and I want a missing link Cyclonus, because those are my 2 favorite G1.
Well, the funny thing is Mike Boyle even said about I think it was Mike. Was it Mike? No, it was someone else. Hang on. Daniel Collins said about Mirage. And heck yeah, I'd love to have one that doesn't break in half when you look at it wrong. That would be nice.
Yeah.
That blue plastic. It's gold plastic in disguise.
There's a lot of them like that. I've learned with some of my Beast Wars stuff that
Yeah.
some of those
Brown.
black plastics,
Well, look at it. Anything brown.
they
Like
turn into just brutal. Yeah.
Magnaboss. That thing early on started shattering. You know, we're not talking years, 20 years later. We're talking like within less than 10 started shattering. So, yeah, well,
I just think, like, I sit here and think about like the Mislink stuff, what they could actually articulate out of Generation 1. Could you guys imagine a Fortress Maximus that's articulated like that?
No.
No, I refuse to do that because my wallet would cry.
I think
And my,
But
and then
you
my
don't want to
wallet-
spend
would-
you don't want to spend $2,000 on an Ultra or on.
I think that's going to surpass the $200 mark by a little bit.
just a smidge. I mean, how much was the reissue again? Wasn't that like at the time? Was it like two?
it was
Yeah, I mean that was a long time ago.
It
Too.
was a while back. I mean, because I had two of them.
I feel like at this point, if they reissued him, he would be a 500 plus toy. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Yeah,
let's,
man. I think we've. Yeah.
let's get all of our final thoughts out and then get out of here and let these people have their evening. You know how it goes. Go ahead, Megamus.
Missing Link's
Let's
fun.
hear what yours was, and then we'll do Sideburn.
What, my final thoughts?
Mhm.
Very happy about Grimlock. Can't wait to get more of the Missing Link. I don't give a crap about the rest of the stuff we were showing today. Don't care.
No, you need a green line.
No, thank you.
I'm gonna buy one and just make you have one.
My trash goes out on Mondays.
All right,
Next.
Sideburn, what do you got?
I mean, it's good to see that the Missing Link is still going. It's a fun line. It's not. I know it's not everyone's cup of tea, but you know, it's someone who was young enough to not own G1, but to sort of G1 was the only other thing to look at when I was a kid. I got online and I looked at G1, G2, and Beast Wars online. So to get those in hand, but to also have them as something that feels more modern is a whole lot of fun. So it's nice to see it kicking around. It's to me interesting to see how it continues to evolve. I wish we knew more about how popular it was, how popular some of the stuff that they're doing is with it. But it's fun. I'm interested to see how they continue this New Legends line. Starting off with a wacky repaint that glows in the dark is interesting. So hopefully that's a fun line. I'm into fun wacky stuff, especially when it's fun wacky Beast Wars stuff. And everything else was, it's not for me, but hopefully it's for someone, and they get to have fun with it. So.
Go ahead, Don.
I'm sort of like Megamus. I'm super happy for all of this. The Lio convoy, it's nice, but I'm not going to be one like, oh, I have to have it. Because again, I wasn't super impressed with the base mold, and I really don't want to jump through hoops to get to that one. The movie Sideswipe, super hyped for Hot Rod. I'll be honest, I'm getting the magenta reissue of that Voyager Hot Rod. I don't think I'm going to want this one unless I'm totally surprised. And then Grimlock's a no-brainer. It's a robot dinosaur that everybody loves. So I can't wait to see what gets revealed, officially or otherwise, in the next few months. It's going to be kind of crazy.
And with all that being said, I'm personally really excited to see what they're going to do with this Grimlock. I want to see this thing cranked out in every color they possibly can. But, like you're saying, we will see. Me, I'm waiting on my Triceratops. That's the one I really want. Because, Slag, whatever the heck else they want to call him. I just call him Slag because that's who he is. Always been my favorite. And I think
They'll rebrand him as Slug.
Yeah.
The slimy Triceratops.
The slimy Triceratops. Yes,
It's supposed to be a slug. It's supposed to be a slug like the shotgun shell, but it's not what most people think of.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But
Well,
anyway.
other than Grimlock, I'm waiting for a Snarl and a Sludge. Those are my three.
I'm waiting for paddles.
That's a good question. Is that ever going to become an actual thing? Hasbro, get on that, because some people want it.
they've got the sludge. They've got leader class sludge. They could.
All you gotta do is rip
Hey,
those those little dino arms off and stick some little paddles on there, and there you go. That or
Yep.
some third party. Get off your butt and just do it.
Well, no, there was a paddles conversion kit. I think DNA did it
Was there?
to turn sludge into paddles. Yes.
I don't think I've seen that one. I don't think I've ever seen that one.
I see one from non-F.
Okay, maybe it was non-F. Then I thought it was DNA design.
Some non-F did one?
It's hard to call that a conversion kit, but
Well, it's the only
yeah,
it's the only one.
yeah. But yeah,
You know,
I threw my paddles joke out there, so
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, I guess. Yeah. I see what you're talking about. It's actually not that expensive either.
I am surprised DNA didn't do one.
Huh.
and also it's like you're not really drowning in choices.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's very, very true. I mean, some people look like they fan mode it into paddles, but yeah, okay,
Yeah.
cool. So, anyway, it's like I said, my final thought. Just give me my G2 Grimlock. I want a G2 Grimlock. It doesn't have to be the tiger stripe. It'd be nice if it was turquoise, but I don't think that'll happen. But anyway, we will catch you guys next week. Leave comments below if you guys are watching this. Please throw a few questions down there. We're going to try to do a little Q&A next week, and we'll see you then.
I know.
Night, everybody.